Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Built Like This podcast. I'm your host, Maxine. We're on episode 358. Hello, hello, hello. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. I'm like, all right, let's get into it, y'all. Already. You see what's on the screen. Make sure you are watching me right now. Right now, make sure you're watching me on the YouTube, on the tube of you. So I know you're watching the White Lotus. I know you're watching the White Lotus just like I am, just like many of you are. And I just want to say this right now. Every single one of us is going to hell. No. Every single one. Because this scene right here, this scene that you could barely see because the color and the lighting, this scene right here is so depraved. This latest episode of the White Lotus, and I'm referring to the White Lotus season 3, episode 6, where you see the two brothers having an incestuous moment. I want to say something else, but I'm trying to not curse too early or say something too inappropriate. But it's depraved. It's disturbing, it's disgusting. And the fact that we're still tuned in, something's wrong with all of us. Every single one of us. I don't know how else to even explain this scene. As you can see at the top of this image, they're partying. They're out partying with those two women who they have become acquainted with on this resort at the White Lotus. And they're out in the town in Taiwan. Is it Taiwan? No, sorry, not Taiwan. I'm like that, like the mother. They're out in the resort with these ladies in Thailand. Yeah, with the lady boys. Anyway, we're in Thailand. And they eventually take these pink dust type of, not pills, but like these like crystals, it looks like. It's probably pink cocaine. I hear that's the new crave. Don't do drugs. Nonetheless, they finally do it. Well, the younger brother, he was super excited to go ahead and he took it right up, put it in his mouth, and chased it with a drink, with the alcoholic beverage. The older brother, Saxton, that's the only name I remember right now, who is actually the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, he initially resisted. He initially was like, no, I don't take drugs. But once he saw his brother took some of that drug, and he was he was being pressured by the women at the time as well to take it. That's why bullying is so real, and we don't realize it until you're in it, until you're the victim. Because honestly, I believe had it not been for whatever, I don't know what it is that they took, I'm just gonna say pink cocaine because it looks like it could be that. Shout out to Young Miami. But I feel like had they not been altered in that state, they probably would not have engaged in this incestuous moment. Who knows? Because in the first episode, y'all remember the first episode of the season, when Saxton initially pressured his brother, I should have said your brother, because that's the only brother he has on the show, at least that we know of. But he pressures his brother to room with him, and his brother succumbs to it. And they're in the room, they're talking about like, man, we got to get connected to the Wi-Fi. Or Saxton is saying that. And he's saying that because he doesn't want to miss out on all the orography. Y'all know what I'm saying? Because he has his routine. He has his nighttime ritual, and he does not want to miss out on that. Essentially, that's essentially what it is. His younger brother, he's like this like nerd, he's this shy kind of guy. I don't even think he's of age. Never mind taking a drug, but he He's on vacation, so I guess it's not a big deal. His older brother, yeah, Saxton, I think he is of age. I think he either just applied. Yeah, his name is Saxon. I'm saying it wrong. Saxon and Lachlan. Lachlan is the younger brother's name. Saxon is Patrick Schwarzenegger, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. It was just a fun fact. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, so he's so nostalgic for me. I remember him since Kindergarten Cop. Me and my sister used to watch that movie all the time on VHS, and it's such a good movie. Him with Danny DeVito. So shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, yeah. So his son. I know he's acting. I know. I get it. He's committed to his role, but it's depraved. It's depraved, and I feel like we have come so far gone in our society. So much so that we are watching things get darker and darker as a form of entertainment for us. We are tuned in. This is scheduled TV. You know how back in the day you have to wait until the following week to get the next episode? We are back to that with this show. Now, there are other shows that we know is primarily easily accessible. You can watch it, you can binge it, you can watch it all at once, all of that. But in this case, we have to wait. And waiting is what we are doing here. Now, what I'm disturbed with the most is one of the reaction videos I watch typically after watching certain shows. I'm not even gonna say the name of their channel. I'm not even gonna say, because I don't want anything bigger to happen right now. I don't know, just have my little corner on YouTube, but who knows how far my comments can go. But there is a couple of gay men. I'm gonna give you enough description, and you do with it as you may. There's a couple of gay men, and literally couple of gay men. I don't know if they're in a romantic relationship, but it's a couple of gay men. They regularly review shows and other shows, other movies, etc. They were reviewing this show, this episode, and they eventually get to this part of, and spoiler alert, at the end of this episode, or at least throughout this episode, you see the angles of this incestuous moment between the brothers. And initially, because of the angle of the video, you're under the impression that Lachlan, again, he's the younger brother, he is simply just having sex with one of the older women who they were out with on the same bed as his brother. His brother is laying on that same bed. Saxon's on one side of the bed, while Lachlan and the woman he's having sex with is on the other side of the bed. It's not a big size bed. It's maybe a queen. I say no more than a queen size. So it's pretty small for 3 grown, long-limbed adults. And you see Lachlan humping, getting it on. And I could have sworn in the beginning of this season, Lachlan was this virgin. I could have sworn Saxon was trying to teach Lachlan, hey, this is how you bag women, and this is what you need to do, and come on, man, I need to get you out here, So I could have sworn Lachlan was this precious little, this little boy, very innocent, very pure. Oh, was I wrong? Because we see him throwing it down on this woman as if he's been here before. So I wonder if we're going to go down further detail about Lachlan and understand that he's had more sexual experiences than we've been privy to. So on this bed, like I said, they're on either side. The bed is no more than a queen size bed. And mind you, they're on a yacht. So the bed can't be more than a queen size bed, because how big of a bed can you fit on a yacht? So Saxon's on the other side of the bed and he's under the covers. Well, the bottom, he's naked. You see him stroking, seemingly. I'm saying seemingly here because that's what it appears, that he's stroking himself. He's getting himself off, and he's essentially being a voyeur. This is a voyeurism moment. He's getting turned on by what's happening, and that alone was enough for me. That alone was depraved enough for me. But as we continue with this episode, we see no, Saxon wasn't jerking himself off. He wasn't doing that to himself. His brother was. So as his brother was humping this older woman who has to be 12 years his senior, he is jacking off his brother. My mouth was agape. And I don't know how to feel aside from what I've already shared, but I just feel like, is there a responsibility for these show writers, for these creators, for these actors even, to not go this dark? Like, I don't want to say like this. I'm talking like that. I just want to know, what is the responsibility? What is the social responsibility as content creators, as actors, as writers, as producers, as all of that? I'm getting hot. I'm putting my fan on. Hold on. I simply want to know that, because I'm watching this. I'm like, this is so disturbing. Yet, I mean, maybe I'm just as bad because I'm watching it and I'm committed to continuing this season, and I've appreciated this show, and it's just been, but I'm thinking to myself, this is going down a road that I feel is beyond entertainment. I could go as far and say this is an agenda. This is a push for us to essentially normalize behavior that is disgusting, that is disturbing, and that should not be normalized. This brings me back to a time in our society not too long ago, and I think this term is actually more prevalent or more recognized, but the term of minor attracted people, MAPS, as opposed to saying pedophile or creep, or calling it out with that negative connotation. Instead, there's a euphemism created. Oh no, he's just or she, it could be either or, is just a minor attracted person. So circling back to what I said earlier about me watching a review YouTube video of these gay couple, and I'm particularly pointing out gay for a reason. They're reviewing it, they get to that part, and one of the white guy, which that I'm saying that for another point, the white guy says, he basically says he doesn't see what the big deal was. He doesn't see what the big deal was. One, and I'm gonna shoot him minor bail here, because in the beginning of the season, we see Saxon, he's rooming with his younger brother after pressuring him to room with him. And Saxon walks into the bathroom he tells his brother before he goes into the bathroom, saying, oh, I'm gonna go jack off because I gotta, continue my routine that I've been doing. I gotta keep on watching, my porn or whatever. So he goes into the bathroom butt naked. He's standing up, he's walking into the bathroom butt naked, and he knows, and we as the viewer, we see it ourselves, that Lachlan is watching his older brother, like he's looking at him. Like, he's not even trying to, man, what you doing? Like, he's not disgusted or disturbed. You could see a sense of curiosity, a sense of temptation even. And as Saxon is in the bathroom, the door is still wide open. And of course, the mirror is there. So Saxon could see his younger brother looking at him. And as he makes eye contact with him, he finally closes the door. So in that moment alone, we could sense that they're teasing each other. Like there's a tease here. There's a playfulness that is beyond. I mean, beyond. I mean, we shouldn't have even playfulness like that anyway. But there's a playfulness that is beyond appropriate, and we finally see it unfold on in episode 6 of this season. So again, back to that gay couple review. The white guy, he talks about how, yeah, he doesn't see what the big deal was. And he said himself, he said verbatim, maybe I'm jaded. Maybe I'm jaded because he doesn't see what the big deal was. And him and his partner in this video, I don't know if they're in a romantic relationship or not, but both of them end up saying that they know people, they know gay people, or they know men in general who, like, they know personal stories of men who have done this or beyond with their fellow, like with their brother. So, and then he's saying, and then another point that he says, you know, I would play a clip. I don't want to get taken down. But he says, he also makes a point to say, our society, we have these conditions that we have these socializations and this conditioned way of thinking about our siblings, and to already assume basically that it's not okay to have sexual relationships with our blood relative, our siblings at that. And he was just making the point that, or he was trying to make the point at least, that this is a socialization and we've been taught to think that way. And the way that he kind of like, it was a quick, maybe 2-3 minute point that they had about this scene. So they didn't really go into it. Like it wasn't a deep dive, because again, especially the white guy, his attitude was very cavalier. Like, I don't see what the big deal. He's like, he just jerked him off. What? You don't see what the big deal is that these brothers are jerking each other off? You don't see what the big deal is? Yeah. I think we've gone to a point in our society, in our entertainment, that we are continuously pushing the button. We are continuously finding, how far can we go here? More viewers came to that, to this part of the scene or rewatched it, and we got how many views? And in this episode, we finally expose incest. Okay, let's continue. So I feel like it's gonna continue into this dark path. We're gonna see some bestiality. We're gonna see some normalization of pedophilia. I'm serious, y'all. I want us to be mindful of what we consume. And of course, obviously, I'm talking to y'all about it because I watched it myself. I've been a fan of this show since season 1. Season 1 did not show this, but people say, when you start off with like normalizing and exacerbating sexuality in a way that it becomes ridiculous, when you have trans, when you have, orgies or all these like grandiose things, it continues the slippery slope. And this right here is an example of that. So please let me know what y'all think about this episode of The White Lotus, season 3, episode 6. You can find that on Max. I mean, I'm gonna continue the show because I'm already committed. Oh, you're a hypocrite. Shut up. I'm just pointing out the disturbing point, the obvious disturbing point here. And again, I feel like sometimes we over intellectualize things that are just, it should be a full stop. We should not, there's no room to have conversations of, it's just socialization or conditioning in thought, when we believe it's inappropriate to have sexual encounters with your sibling. Huh? Like, how did we get here in the conversation? That's my point. That's my point, honestly. But let me know what y'all think about that. I am simply disturbed. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, the White Lotus, the White Lotus. All right, y'all, let's get into Just with the Mess and My News is Real. Just with the Mess and My News is Real. So, Just with the Mess is out here letting us know that she is not pleased with her replacements. I mean, she didn't say replacement, but basically that's what it's given. That is what it is given. And on camera or on air. And I think this was definitely a strategic opportunity that was taken. Now, I don't think Jess Hilarious went on her Instagram live with that strategy in mind. I think she was simply venting. I don't know if she started off her live with this vent, but or someone in the comments brought up Lauren de La Rosa and their commentary about it, and it led to her giving the rant that she gave. But Jess Hilarious, in case you are not familiar, she has been the new co-host of The Breakfast Club ever since Angela Yee left the show. And many people really appreciated her add-on on the show. Like when she was in the stages of auditioning, we saw Jess Hilarious, we saw Claudia Jordan, we saw a few other people rotating, but Jess Hilarious were one of the few who was consistent in that rotation. And then finally, she got offered the position, and it was official that she is on the show. While she was auditioning, everyone was liking her. I liked her. I liked the chemistry that was between her and Charlemagne and DJ Envy. It was a nice vibe. She was well alert and well prepared. It just felt like she was engaged. But what often happens is when you are interviewing for a job, right? When you're giving your mock lesson, for those who are teachers, you know what I mean with that. But when you're interviewing, you show your best self, right? You give your best representative. You are showing up. You're excited to be here. You have all the energy in the world until you finally work a full week. Never mind 2 weeks. Maybe the first 2 days, the first couple of days, you realize, child, I'm just happy. Y'all should be happy I'm here. Like suddenly that energy, that enthusiasm goes out the window, and you have an attitude, you taking days off, you have just no spunk with you. And I feel like that's what's been happening with Jess Hilarious. Now, she had a baby. Actually, she had a new baby. So she now has 2 children, but she had a baby shortly after she got offered her full-time position at The Breakfast Club. And some people was like, oh, this was irresponsible of her to do. Like, why would you get pregnant and you just got offered this position? She said in her Instagram live that she wanted a baby, and so she got a baby. And I have no problem with that. And the reason why I feel like, as a woman, and she's getting older, I think she's around my age, you have to take any opportunity that you want if you want to have a child or additional children. And regardless of this amazing role that she got on the show, I think it's well within her right. It's her body, right? We want to say my body, my choice, my body, my choice. Let this woman choose to have a baby at this time in her life. I don't agree with people saying, oh, it was the wrong time. No, because what's the right time? It's always going to be a wrong time if you find reasons for that. right? Oh, it's the wrong time. You just got a promotion. Oh, it's the wrong time. We just got in, we just got some news about some breaking news. It's the wrong time. Like, no, let me have my baby at any time I want. How about that? Cut it out. My body, my choice, right? So anyway, she had her baby shortly after she got hired. She didn't have her baby, but she eventually got on maternity leave and had her baby. And yeah, she was out for quite some time. And as we know, with the maternity leave, you cannot fire the employee upon return, and you definitely can't fire her while she's on maternity leave. Now, she's welcome to quit. I know they signed a contract, but I don't think the contract, I mean, I would assume the contract is not like she can't quit. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's like that. Nonetheless, like, the federal government supports women and their right to work or have access to work. So regardless of a contract or not, or an at-will contract, she had legal support to still have this job while she was on maternity leave and upon return from it. So while she was on maternity leave, Lauren LaRosa stepped in and did her job. And she did her job pretty well. People are saying, oh, she's doing it well because she knows how to read. And I feel like, come on, y'all. I feel like this, the viewers of any show, the public in general, we have amnesia. It's either that or we're just fickle. Because we didn't say anything about Jess Hilarious not knowing how to read when Jess Hilarious was auditioning and was a frequent co-host on the show. We didn't have any complaints about her. We didn't compare her to Claudia Jordan. Claudia Jordan definitely has better articulation, but not once did that comparison come in between them or any other prospect at that time. But since we saw Lauren LaRosa consistently in Jess's seats during that time, people, of course, naturally compare them and essentially put them toe to toe, comparing them to each other, saying, oh, Lauren LaRosa should just take her job. How you have the substitute better than the actual teacher, all of that. So you would think because Lauren LaRosa was the substitute that she would now be removed and go back to where she came from upon Jess Hilarious's return. Oh, but no. Oh, but no. So let's go ahead and play some of this clip. I'm going to chop it up, so we're not going to listen to everything, but we're going to get into what the mess is any day now. Okay. It's probably not going to show. Child, are you serious? I did all that setup. Hold on.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ.
Hey, there we go. We did it, y'all. We did it. Let's go.
ENV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
What's happening? How's everybody feeling out there?
I'm great. How you feel?
I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Jess Hilarious is here.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Jess
Still my job. I came into work. What's up?
She's been trending all day.
Yes.
I think she's number 9 right now.
Okay. Because I was sitting at home last night trying to watch Magazine Dreams, and I kept getting a bunch of phone calls and text messages, and people was like, Jess Hilarious is going off on live.
Oh, we have audio.
Okay.
We supposed to be a team up there. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm like not one month ever with this online. Come on, I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hilarious is quiet, it's some other reason. I always got my mouth open all the time. Just ran like a high school. It is. Fair East Side High.
I agree with that.
Fair East Side High.
Fair point.
Before Mr. Clark, though. Every day, and they always talk about, you ain't at work, you ain't at work. Yeah, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no. Hell no. I have more fun outside the studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy?
No, act like that. No, act like that's not for real. Act like nobody knew that. Stop acting like
What
we
part?
really.
Okay, so we're pausing there because they played a snippet of what Jess Hilarious said from her Instagram live. And she's just saying, like, look, this workplace is run like a high school. And y'all, I realized that high school never ends. It never ended. It will never end. It will still be the same thing. I remember my sister told me when I was getting ready to go to college, she was like, oh, it's not going to be anything like high school. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be so much better. So different. And she said that because I dealt with a lot of like loneliness back in high school, and I felt like I never fit in. That shit I still feel this way. It doesn't go away. And I feel like it amplifies more in different settings, right? Like in some social groups, I feel that way amplified. So I'm aware, like, okay, I probably shouldn't hang out with that friend group anymore. I probably shouldn't, probably should distance myself. All of that is true. But the point is, high school never ends. And it's very unfortunate when you are working at a place, right? You're trying to be a professional. You're working in a professional environment. We get it. It's the Breakfast Club. Y'all talk about topics that are controversial, and it's y'all of the culture, all that. But all in all, there should be a level of professionalism, right? Like there should be a level of HR. Like where is HR? Anyway, so Just Hilarious is saying, this is run like a high school. She feels like no one has her back. When she reads the comments, she sees people just trash talking her and pointing out things that she realizes she feels the same way as well. So now DJ Envy is trying to understand, where did this come from? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? And he's confused. He's confused because he feels like he does have her back. Let's go ahead and continue.
What you mean we don't have your back? Break that down. Explain how we don't have your back.
Okay. All right. So the narrative, like I said, with the online ish, that's what I said. Y'all ain't nobody trying to clear up no narrative about nothing. Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah. I at first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. No, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back, because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I pick her to fill in for me, right? I come back. She ain't never leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading.
And that's absolutely true. Just like I said, no one had a problem with Jess Hilarious until they saw a reporter, because Lauren LaRosa, like I said, she is said, or she's complimented so much because she knows how to read. She gives detail. She articulates her words. You know, she gives facts. She's aware. All these things. It's like, okay, cool. That's great and all, but y'all didn't hire me for that. Like just the same, y'all didn't hire me for that. Y'all hired me to comment on the news, to, you know, sure, I say a little bit of the news, but I'm ultimately giving my commentary. I'm giving my comedic takes, and that's what it is. But now all of a sudden, since Lauren LaRosa is there, it's this, oh, she could read, she should get the job. When that's not what the job was for in the first place.
Delivering details and all that stuff. Yes. Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right, cool. What are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we worry about the comments? And these are people that enjoy the show and watch the show. It's not all about Instagram. It's YouTube. It's like, we have people that have been watching the show. Yeah, she's great at what she do. That's why I picked her to fill in for me. But when I came back, it's kind of like, what's going on? If she's gonna be a fourth voice, why she only got to be a fourth voice on my segment?
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Lauren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought
she was on air. She was on air.
They told her, don't step in this room.
Yes, but I thought you was using her on purpose.
What? You thought I was using Lauren on purpose?
Yes.
And you see what's happening here? Oh, I thought, or no, she wasn't on air. Yes, she was. Everyone is confused. No one knows what's going on. There's not clarity. There's not clarity being had. There's no clarity being had, I should say. There's no communication. Like, I'm sure they have morning meetings, right? I'm sure they have staff meetings at some point. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Like, why is it confusing to have just like misconception on what her role is? I'm trying to understand why does DJ Envy think, oh no, she wasn't on air? Yes, she was. The whole time Lauren LaRosa has been on air, specifically at the same time as Just Hilarious is on air, and during her segment. She is saying her segment. So yeah, she is like, y'all are purposely in this moment, they're gaslighting her. And I don't even like to use that term because it gets overused. Just like there's so many other, like, what was it? Crash out. That's a new one. I'm gonna start using that though. That's kind of cool. I like crash out. And I've been using what's the other word? Oh my gosh. I was telling my friend, well, my hairstylist. She's my friend. But anyway, the point is, y'all be crashing out. Psychosis. That's the word I was talking about. Psychosis. That's another one. New word. Hyper focus. I'm hyper focused on these new words. Anyway, the point is, they're gaslighting her. And I don't even like to use that word, but this is a prime example of such. A prime example. Like, stop playing with me. Oh man, did I just change it? Oops.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ.
This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we worry about the comments? And these are people that enjoy the show and watch the show. It's not all about Instagram. It's YouTube. It's like, we have people that have been watching the show. Yeah, she's great at what she do. That's why I picked her to fill in for me. But when I came back, it's like, what's going on? If she's gonna be a fourth voice, why she only got to be a fourth voice?
Well, correct me if
on
I'm
my
wrong.
segment.
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Lauren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought
Yeah,
you was.
you
I
lying.
thought
She was on air.
They told her, don't step in this room.
yes, but I thought you was using her on purpose.
What? You thought I was using Lauren on purpose?
Yes.
No. What are we talking about? No. She didn't leave when I came back. The first day we had a whole situation. Like, all right, look, this was going to happen. And when it's time for us to roll.
Now, for Lauren though, I feel like she probably feels maybe a slight feeling of awkwardness here, because they're talking about Lauren like she's not in the room, but she's literally. Actually, I don't think she was in the room at that time. There's a part in which she does get into the room and they do talk to each other, woman to woman, not in that context, but just literally woman to woman. And they address the fact that Jess Hilarious has been telling Lauren to shut up, hush up, be quiet, literally on air. And here's the thing with that. Though I do see how it is not, I do see how it is rude, it is disrespectful. I would feel some type of way about that. I would feel bothered by that if I was Lauren. But Jess Hilarious has to keep telling her to be quiet because Lauren doesn't know when to stop talking. Hello? She keeps talking. Okay, we get it. We're on a news show. We're on air. We get that. That's obvious. Duh. But you have to share the mic. It's not the Lauren LaRosa show. Now, I hear that she got a new show. She's about to start a podcast. Kudos, great. That's fine. But the point is, you're sharing 3 other mics. Wait, 1, 2, 3 other mics. And you spending this whole time is your whole segment. Whose segment is it? Because as a listener of this show, I watch these clips, from time to time. I don't know is it Jess with the mess or is it Lauren with the mess? Whose mess is it? So I understand why Jess has had to feel like, man, this bitch doesn't shut up. Can I get a word in? Lauren doesn't let people get a word in. She does not. She's like, hold on. It's like she takes a while to kind of get to the damn point. She it's just, the way that she communicates is just, Yes, we get it. She knows how to read. She's detail oriented. That's great. But know when to curve. Know when to stop talking so someone else could chime in. That's just annoying as hell. I noticed that too. So yes, just generally, it is rude to tell someone to shut up. Right? I get that. But when that person has yet to shut up, bitch, shut up. Let me talk. I want to get in the conversation.
It changed. No, the first question was about, the only person who asked me about my baby maternity leave was Envy. All right, I walked in. She addressed the hate in the comments. That was the first thing she addressed when I came back. I'm like, what the hell would make her want to think I want to talk about
y'all
that?
talk off air though, right?
So yeah. We started talking off air. We started to
But I'm
talk
saying even
off air.
prior to you even coming back.
So then I felt uncomfortable that first day. So I'm like, all right, look. Thea was like, all right. Well, we'll just take her off air. She was back the next week. All right.
And I remember that moment. I'm gonna cut it off right here because I'm over it. But I remember that moment because I felt that same way. Like Jess is an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. I see you. I caught that. I remember that first clip upon Jess's return. You know, we know obviously she just had a baby. She's just been, nurturing, being this mother to her new child, in addition to her, her other child. But, now she has 2 kids and it's a blessing. And the first thing out of Lauren's mouth is, I just want to address these haters because just because they see another Black woman on the show doesn't mean that we can't get along. It doesn't mean that she's not good at her job. And it's like, girl, what? I'm sorry, what? Like, why are you talking like that? First of all, hey, how you doing? How's the baby? Is the baby sleeping at night? Like, talk. And Lauren, it's not like you have to suddenly act like you care about motherhood. Lauren's not a mother. And not to say you can't care about motherhood if you're not a mother. The point is, play into it for a moment. Like, it's common courtesy, dude. Someone finally goes back to work after being away because of an injury. You finally see them back at work and y'all start talking about, oh, 2 men can't be at the job, 2 Black. What? How are you doing? How's your leg? How's your leg? Are you able to walk straight now? Like, talk about the elephant in the room. And I guess she did essentially, but not that elephant. Talk about a positive one. Let's start off on a positive note. And when Jess brought this up, one, I already peeped initially, but it made me think, did Lauren do that on purpose? Did she try to get the audience to feel more of this emotion of trying to pin 2 women against each other? And like, did she play on that? I don't know. I feel like it could have been manipulative. I feel like it was more of a high five to those who have been shouting her out as the better replacement, as the better position for this job. Anyway, apparently they squashed it seemingly on set, and things are well. And it may just be like the 4 of them. Maybe Jess's position is no longer in jeopardy. Who knows? She says she did sign a contract like for her position. So it's not this like, oh, this willy-nilly part-time job. It's a real full-time job for her. So we'll see exactly how this will play out. But I don't know. It does appear as if Lauren LaRosa may be taking Jess's spot. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's going to be a 4-chair host type of show. Let's move on to this nigga right here. Y'all, maybe I gotta eat crow. Maybe I got to eat crow. And you know that saying is for if you realize you were wrong. If you realize you did not have the right answer. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because Jonathan Majors has a video or an audio recording of him that was recorded by his woman at the time, which I do think there's some slick shit to that because Was he aware that you recorded him? Like, what? Why would you record him? Maybe it was like something that she felt she needed to do to prove her case in this domestic violent situation. Because, typically if you are a victim of such, you want to retain enough evidence to support your case. So let me not too much on her for doing that. Anyway, in this video, or in this clip that I will play to y'all, you see here, he admits that he in fact did put his hands on this woman here, this fragile white woman who he wanted to be his Coretta Scott King, but now he's married to this Coretta Scott King. I guess Megan Good is a Coretta Scott King, I guess, for him at least. But they apparently got married recently, just literally a couple of weeks ago, in a private ceremony. I don't know. Even I am still unsure about their love. The theory is it's all a ruse, and she's helping him out as a, one PR team to another PR team. They just came to cahoots. But for them to go as far as to get married, allegedly, who knows? Maybe it is a real thing. But I did read a book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This woman got married for clout. Every time it was a strategy. Not once did she marry someone who she was deeply in love with and really wanted to be with. It was all strategic. It was all manipulative. It was all for clout. So even them, they got married, it must be real. No, that's not the case at all. But let's go ahead and get into this clip right here.
Megan Good just reacted to Jonathan Majors' trending released audio. Guilty of what he was accused of, have been ashamed of what he had done. He interviewed Jonathan Majors.
But I was happy I'd done my work.
His fault that he acted the way that he did.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. So I'm
because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that
something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
Now, y'all already know that Megan Good and Jonathan just got married.
I'll pause right there. So there we have it. It kind of was all over the place because I had to figure that out. But nonetheless, in that snippet, he admits to him strangling her is under the word of aggressed. And aggress, showing aggression, being aggressive physically. And I guess they were talking it out. I don't understand this conversation though. Like, what is the context here? Did after him strangling her, she decided to sit down and talk to him? Tell me why you strangled me. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Megan Good, you ain't good. You better run, girl. You in danger, girl. I mean, but hey, to each their own. Maybe he just wanted to strangle her. Yo, when I tell you I've been rooting for Jonathan Majors, I loved him since Lovecraft Country. He was that. But ever since he's gotten stronger in the spotlight, or more luminous, I should say, his behavior, like the way I've been seeing him, has been different. Like it's been tainted a bit, and it's disturbing. It's quite sad, I should say. I wish I could get back to the Jonathan Majors before the mass knew about him, before he was a household name, but he decided to take on a Marvel character and then eventually got dropped. But nonetheless, he got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I wish he could just go back to this smaller indie character or actor I knew him as back in the day. But yeah, now it's just, he gives me cringe vibes, and it's very unfortunate. But I agree. I think, here I go. Let me put my pick-me hat. Is it fitting? Does it look good? I think some people can be abusive to some people, yet with other people, not so much. I don't believe in the whole these platitudes of, once a cheater, always a cheater. Once an abuser, always an abuser. I really don't. I think people could change. I think if you want to change for sure, you definitely can. You know, you can put in the work in, because if we start to think like, oh no, once a cheater, always a cheater, or once this, always that, then what is the point of anything in life, right? What's the point of saying, oh, go to therapy, go to therapy? Y'all say so much, go to therapy, but then say, this nigga ain't shit. Which one is it? Or y'all, like, do you need to see records of proof of sessions that he's attended for therapy for you to believe he won't cheat on you again? Or he won't strangle you like he strangled the last bitch? I'm cracking up. Look, I'm laughing about it because look, they came out alive. They're well. Not that she went to a hospital. I mean, I guess she kind of did, but the point is, I think it was a toxic relationship altogether. We saw in that video him being chased by her, right? So I think both of them had a tendency of fighting each other. It was a fight. I don't think he slapped her up. I mean, strangling is still bad. You could die from that, but I'm trying to shoot him, Bill. I'm trying my best, y'all. I'm trying my best. But Megan Good, maybe you in danger. I don't know. God bless. I think this relationship, I was rooting for y'all. I mean, I'm still rooting for y'all, but I feel like, I think he's just, his light for me, in my opinion, has become cringe, has dimmed a bit, and it's quite disappointing. I wish we could go back to the Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country that I fell in love with. I wish we could go back to that guy. Let's move on to this woman right here. My God. Okay, before we even get to her, let's go back to my presentation, because what I'm going to do is play a clip from Angie Stone's funeral that happened recently. May she rest in peace. She passed away from a tragic accident on the road as she was on her way to a tour site of hers. Apparently, she was still touring, and she was literally on her way to a performance, and her tour bus crashed, and she was the only one who passed. Out of everyone, I don't know how many people was in the vehicle, but she was the only one who passed. According to the reports, she was the only one who passed. Now, hello? What's that about? But just recently, Angie Stone came on Instagram Live talking about she knows who's been robbing her and taking away her ability to earn more money from the records that she sold throughout her career. And she was calling out the music industry at that time. And ironically, she passes away. She's the only one who passes away from this car crash. It is suspicious, but I know we don't want to talk about that. It's still too soon, technically. I get that. So I do want to be sensitive to that. But I just want to put that out there that I don't think her passing was not of foul play. Let's just say that. I think I just said it backwards, because two knots make a positive. But y'all, I think it was a foul play is what I'm saying. But let's go ahead and play this clip of Tyler Perry, where did he come from? Tyler Perry swear he's Captain Save-A-Ho. God, we get it, Tyler Perry. You pay black actors the most they've ever paid. They've ever been paid in Hollywood history. We get it. Corey Hardrick said this. Taraji P. Henson said that. We get it. That's great. But Tyler Perry is Captain Save-A-Ho. I don't know who else is but him. Apparently, he funded this funeral. Like, that's not random to y'all? Tyler Perry? Was Angie Stone close to Tyler Perry? Did they have relationships? Like, I don't know. No, okay, let's go ahead and play this clip, because he gave a eulogy, and he had a lot to say
about what she did, all of the people that she put on and helped. So you got to go through something to write a song like $20. Because in it she says, what you know about being poor. She don't say poor, she says poor. What you know about having to borrow from the neighbor next door. These are her words. What you know about bumming rides. What you know about having to swallow your pride. And this is the part of the song that got to me when she said, what do you do when you're through? when you're always helping people and nobody is there for you. Y'all got to forgive me because I'm angry at the way she was treated. I did not know all the things that she was going through. Recently, I found out because I'm not on Instagram. I'm not being hooked and manipulated by an algorithm telling me what to think and how to feel. So I don't see everything. But to think that this woman was in the business for all of these years, and there's a difference between performing because you want to and performing because you have to. All of those years, all of those songs, all of that money that was owed to her, where is it? It's wrong. It is wrong.
So he's making good points. Okay, I'm not mad at what he's saying. I'm not mad at what's being said. I'm not mad at that. I'm not even mad at him deciding to share this at her funeral service, right? Some people may think this is inappropriate. Like, why are we talking about this? Just to talk about her as as this strong Black woman. I don't know. Monique had a problem with this. Because Tyler could breathe. And she's like, nah, you owe me an apology for breathing. And I don't want to get at Monique because I think she is well within her right to hold him to the fire. Because for so long, she has been blackballed. And Tyler Perry was one of the many powerful figures at that time and still today, but at that time, who created this campaign of Monique being this difficult person to work with. And that led to her not being able to secure jobs, secure roles. And of course, that's going to hurt her financially. So for him to talk about where is her money in reference to Angie Stone, the irony is rich. Okay, so let's go ahead and share what Monique decided to share with us, the public, on Instagram. So she writes an open letter to him. And as you can see on the screen, I am sharing snippets of this open letter. I'm going to make it full screen so y'all can see it better. There we go. And she starts off by saying, open letter to Tyler Perry. We would like to give our heartfelt condolences to Angie Stone's family and friends. Sister Angie, we stand on the shoulders of the elders and ancestors like you. So please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter. So she's trying to say, look. R.I.P. My heart, my condolences, all of that goes to you. Just know that your death, your passing inspired me to write this. Like, okay, girl, Monique, stop! Because look, I support Monique, but I also feel like I don't know if this is necessary to attach it here. But like I said, Monique is gonna find every opportunity to hold Tyler Perry to the cross. So she said, so please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter, and that the fight doesn't end with your passing, as it is only beginning. Okay, bet. Now she says, dear so she tags him, Tyler Perry. I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband, Sydney, because, Sydney is always going to be mentioned. One thing about Monique, she's going to mention her husband, Sydney. She's not even going to say just my husband. She's going to say his name, which is like, God, we get it. This man is your manager, your husband, whatever it is. Can he play a backseat role for a second? As poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me. You express anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you've imposed the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong. 2, because there are points here. She's making valid points. I'm not saying she's not making any valid points. I'm just saying, I don't know. At some point, when are you going to let it go? It does seem like Monique is getting her career back in action. She has been getting roles. What was that recent role where she was like in this demonic house? I think Monique is getting back on track. But look, again, I'm not even mad at her holding him to the fire. I just wonder if it's appropriate for the link that she's making here, because it's on the heels of someone's passing. You know, I feel like that is what makes it uncomfortable for me. So she says, too, you ask where's the money she's owed. Well, where's my public apology that you promised in 2016? The false narrative you perpetuated helped blackball me, costing me tens of millions. Okay, where's the restitution for that? You mentioned being tired of us not receiving benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. I mean, the list goes on. She's about to close it here. I don't feel like reading it because I don't care anymore. my attention span goes off. But in this audio recording, which I guess she's within her right to have recorded him, depending on the state that she was in. But you know, regardless of you having the consent of someone, depending on the state that you're in, you can still record that person audibly at the very least. Maybe not physically in a manner that's sexual, but definitely audibly, depending on the state that you're in. So in this recording that I'm about to show, that I'm about to play to y'all, play for y'all, she is talking to him as well as her husband, and they're talking about how, you know, she's old and yada yada yada. And Tyler Perry eventually in this audio clip admits to this and apologizes and says that, yeah, you're right.
Because the community is saying, wait a minute, hold up. We don't know this sister to be no bullshitter. We know she a loudmouth. We know she'll say some shit off the wall. But what we know about it is she true to her word.
And all I would ask you is two questions. The first question is, did you not just say it was wrong?
Tyler.
Did you not just say it was wrong, Tyler? To say she was difficult for not doing something that she was not contractually obligated to do? Did you not say that you would feel that that was wrong? Or am I missing something?
I absolutely said that. Yeah. So the community is...
And there we have it. I'll just pause it there. He absolutely said that. And he said that it was wrong, that she was blackballed and all of that. Again, I think Monique is well within her right to feel how she feels and wanting to support and wanting to stand up for herself. I admire that. I think that's admirable for sure. I just wonder, though, if it was the right time, especially on the heels of Angie Stone's passing. That's just my take, my tidbit here. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about any of these topics. Leave it in the comments here on YouTube below. And if you are watching or listening to me on audio platforms such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you are subscribed. Leave a review there as well. I would really appreciate that. That is your way of supporting this podcast. And if you would like to donate, look at the sticker at the bottom of this video. And thank you in advance. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, and I appreciate your support. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.